Am I the a-hole for telling my friend he's not even close to as handsome as my boyfriend? My boyfriend has a friend who is fairly conventionally attractive and kind of annoying about it. The friend tends to make jokes at my boyfriend's expense, usually poking fun at my boyfriend's nose. My boyfriend has a unique, larger, very handsome nose that I am very attracted to. It's very masculine and appealing to me. So when I hear his friend making fun of his big nose and comparing my boyfriend to Angry Birds, it slightly bothers me. But it doesn't appear to bother my boyfriend, and my boyfriend has even said the jokes make him laugh. We were all drinking at a party the other day, and the friend was once again making jokes at my boyfriend's expense about the way he looks. I was pretty drunk and over the jokes, so I said, "Oh please, you wish you looked like him," with a smile on my face. He seemed genuinely caught off guard since I'm normally fairly passive. He said something along the lines of, "Why would I want to look like him?" I replied with, "Because you're not even close to as handsome as him." I thought it would come across as flirty and cute because I'm his girlfriend, so of course I think he's the most handsome in the world. I thought it would be a nice ego boost for my boyfriend as well, since he was getting dogged on for his nose all the time. My boyfriend enjoyed my response, but his friend seemed actually hurt by what I said. I heard later that he was telling others that what I said was really rude and uncalled for. Some of my friends think I was just dishing it back, but other friends say I went too far and was just being petty and rude. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole for defending your boyfriend. If his friend can't take it, he shouldn't dish it out. This is the answer. No one should be commenting negatively on anyone's features regardless, but if you're going to be the jerk who does it, you better be ready for rebuttals. Not the a-hole. And if these friends are so insulted by you, his girlfriend, saying your boyfriend is the most handsome one in the world, then they're really kinda ish. He's supposed to be their friend, but for them to be this upset over a light-hearted comparison, yikes. You might have a case from anyone except the guy's girlfriend. She's supposed to say that, even if it's objectively not true, as it should be subjectively true. Not the a-hole. You don't need to glaze some guy that's actively putting your boyfriend down. He's making these jokes because he's insecure. That's the end-all be-all, which is why he overreacted to your comment. It was, in his mind, confirmation of his own fears and insecurities. Of course you're going to think your boyfriend is more handsome than his friend. He's your boyfriend. Getting hurt over a comment like that wouldn't make sense unless he is already insecure over his looks and/or wants to date you himself. Yup, the friend is hella jealous lamau. Probably wants to be with her and is giving insults as a result of his jealousy. I'd probably stop being friends with him, but it's your life. You do you. You should probably ask your boyfriend why he lets this person get away with being a turd. Next story. My boyfriend said he'll just keep his daughter away from me because I said I felt disrespected. Am I being too sensitive, or is this a red flag? Hi Reddit. I'm a 27 female, and I've been dating a 37 male for over a year. He has a 5-year-old daughter, and as things have gotten more serious, I've tried to be thoughtful and respectful in how I show up. Not just for him, but in how I connect with his child and family. But something happened recently at a family dinner that really hurt me, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm overreacting or if this is something more serious. We were at a dinner for his mom's birthday. His daughter was sitting in the booth behind me and kept tapping me on the back of the head over and over. It wasn't aggressive, but it was physically repetitive, and I probably let it happen 5 or 6 times and didn't say anything. I didn't want to cause a scene or make her feel bad. She's a kid. Eventually, his mom noticed and said something to him in Spanish, telling him to have her stop. That's when he turned to me and asked, "Do you feel disrespected?" I said, "Yeah, I kinda do." And instead of taking that seriously or stepping in, he immediately said, "Too bad." Then he turned to his daughter and said, "Keep doing it," jokingly. But of course she's 5. She took that as a green light and kept doing it. What really hurt me wasn't the tapping itself. It was that I communicated how I felt in a calm, honest way, and he made it into a joke. He didn't step in or make me feel protected. And when I brought it up later in private, I tried to be clear about that. I wasn't mad at his daughter. I was disappointed in him. I told him it didn't feel good that I voiced something that made me uncomfortable, and instead of having my back, he brushed it off and turned it into a game. That's when he said something that really shocked me. He told me that if I thought something like that was a big deal, then the only solution is to just keep his daughter away from me going forward. That if I can't handle small things like that, it's only going to get worse, and one day I'll probably make him choose between me and his kid. He also made a comment that I'd probably only take care of my own kids, as if I'm incapable of caring for someone else's child. To be clear, I have never asked him to choose. I've gotten his daughter small gifts, showed up with warmth and grace, and I've gone out of my way to respect the dynamic between them. But every time I set a boundary, even one as simple as saying this felt disrespectful, he makes it seem like I'm the enemy, like I have a problem with her. His go-to response is to remove me from this situation entirely, as if I'm a threat instead of a partner. He's also mentioned that he's never had to balance being a father and being in a relationship at the same time, and he doesn't know how it's supposed to work. I do understand that. I know it can be complicated, and I know this is new for him. But I also believe that being new at something doesn't give you permission to shut down your partner every time they express a need. So, am I overthinking this? Or is this as big of a red flag as it feels? You're the a-hole if you stay with such a disrespectful man. Even his mother tried to correct him. He's already showing you how your future will be. It's not that complicated. He is an immature prick, and you should put as much distance as you can between you. You are not important to him in the least. Not the a-hole unless you stay with him. And a crappy parent. There is no way on earth I would let my kid get away with behavior like that, as it is not appropriate. There is a time and a place for everything. That situation was neither the time nor the place. I don't care who she was tapping. I would not be in a relationship with this dude at all. Crappy parenting is a full stop. Not the a-hole. His own mother told him to make her stop. He's immature, and it is a red flag he's going to the extreme measure because you voiced your opinion. He's a parent, and when his kid is acting up, is he always going to give in to her whims? You may need to distance yourself from him until he starts to get being a parent and boyfriend under control. Please do not distance yourself from him. Leave. 10-year age difference, and he has not been in a relationship and been a parent? This says a lot about the relationship he had with the bio mom. You are not the a-hole. Bingo. She didn't even voice the disrespect or discomfort. He was prompted by an outside party to ask her. He obliged and asked her, and they proceeded to disregard her. Ever wonder why he's a 37-year-old man with a child and is not in a relationship? Why didn't the mother stay with him? Unless she passed away or abandoned them both, in which case, sorry. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to push my niece to go to her stepmom for female problems when she prefers to come to me? My niece Addie, 14 female, is the child of my older brother and my late best friend Cam. Cam died from an infection when Addie was 6. When Addie was 7, my brother started dating again. He met Jess after several dates, and they got married after a year of dating. Jess was nice enough to start with, and she and Addie got along fine. But Addie didn't get closer to Jess like my brother and Jess expected, and when any issues came up, she would turn to me for help and not Jess. I was the one she told when she got her first period, when she started getting cramps, and also when she had concerns about her periods or other developmental stuff. Jess was jealous, and she asked me to step aside and let her take care of Addie as her new mom. I told Jess I would not turn Addie away from me if she came to me. My brother and Jess spoke to Addie, and she told them Jess wasn't her mom and that she found it easier to talk to me. She didn't want to work on making it easier to go to Jess for this stuff. When Addie was newly 12, my brother limited contact between me and Addie for several months because he was hoping it would encourage her to speak to Jess about, to quote my brother, female problems. But after several months, he told me he needed me to step in again and be there for Addie because she was bottling it all up. So for over a year, it's been me helping her when stuff comes up. But since Jess had her and my brother's second child together, she's been feeling more upset that Addie comes to me instead of her. She told me I needed to get Addie to go to her for problems. She said it makes more sense because she'll have been her mom most of her life by the time Addie graduates and moves out. She said I need to push Addie as much as possible, if that's what it takes. I refused. I told her I will not risk Addie isolating herself. And the more she pushes, the less Addie will warm up to her. She needs to accept their relationship as it naturally develops. Or doesn't. Jess told me I was showing my loyalty to Cam over everyone and that Addie needs a mom, and Cam isn't here anymore. She said that for Addie's sake, she should be relying on her new mom for this kind of problem. But instead, I'm just glad she's holding on to Cam and not thinking long-term. Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. Not the a-hole at all. Addie feels safe with you, and that's what matters. You can't force that kind of trust, and trying to push her away from you would probably just mess things up more. Jess should be focusing on building a real bond, not just trying to replace someone she'll never be to Addie. Agreed. Not the a-hole OP. I hate all these posts about step-parents trying to force bonds on kids. It never works, and it only causes resentment towards the step-parent and the parents. It sounds like Jess and Addie get along fine, and if they would just step back and allow that bond to continue to grow, something might actually develop. It might never be what Jess actually wants, but it will be more than what they are getting now by pushing so hard. If this is true, Jess couldn't be more wrong, and your brother should continue to step up and do the right thing for his daughter by allowing you to continue being an important part of Addie's life. The teenage years are so tough, and if you are who she is comfortable going to, then so be it. If she ends up isolated, all sorts of problems can develop. Also, Jess isn't her new mom, she is her stepmother. Her mother, who sadly passed away, will always be her mother. And it is so important that they allow her to feel however she feels. I know these things because I have a 19-year-old daughter whose dad passed away when she was 15. Life is hard enough for a teenager. They should be thrilled to have you there as a source of love and support. I hope he does continue to let me be involved like this, as long as Addie wants that. Otherwise, it's not me they punish or Jess they reward. It's Addie who gets punished and then doesn't confide in anyone. Exactly, and that would be tragic for Addie. Yes, it would absolutely be devastating, and the thing is it could start with female problems, but could become other problems she keeps to herself, and that could lead to dangerous secrets being kept. There's so much wrong when you shut kids off from the people they will confide in. Please keep helping her. There's something about her stepmom she's not comfortable with. I will, as long as my brother doesn't limit contact between us again. But I never liked that he did that in the first place because Addie suffered the most. Last story. Am I the a-hole for not giving my sister a large loan for her wedding after she said my career isn't as important as hers? I, 32 female, have a successful career as a lawyer and have worked hard to get to where I am today. I've always been financially responsible and have saved up a nice nest egg for my future. My younger sister Katie, 28 female, is getting married in a few months, and I've been excited for her, though I knew she was planning a big, expensive wedding. A few weeks ago, Katie called me and asked if I could loan her a large sum of money for her wedding. She said the venue and other wedding expenses were more than she anticipated, and she didn't want to have to scale back anything. She wanted $20,000, which is a significant amount of money for me, but I was willing to help, so I told her I would think about it and get back to her. After thinking about it, I decided that it wasn't a good idea for me to loan that much money, especially since I'd already saved it for my future and have other priorities. I called Katie and told her I couldn't loan her that amount, but I'd be happy to give her $2,000 if she really needed help. I thought that would be a reasonable gesture. Katie flipped out. She told me that my career isn't as important as hers, and that I didn't understand the value of a once-in-a-lifetime event, like a wedding. She said I was selfish and that I was choosing my career over supporting her when she needed me most. I was shocked by her response. I'm not saying her wedding isn't important, but I don't think it's fair for her to expect me to sacrifice my financial stability for it. Plus, I've helped her with other things in the past, and I don't think I should be pressured into giving away money I've worked hard for. Now our relationship is strained, and my parents are saying I should have just given her the money to avoid drama. They think I'm being too cold and practical, and that I should support her more, even if it means a sacrifice on my part. Am I the a-hole for not giving my sister a large loan for her wedding after she belittled my career? Not the a-hole. You may never get that money back, and if you do, it could take a very long time. You've worked hard and saved it. $2,000 is more than generous. I can't understand people who get so carried away with weddings that $20,000 is more than anticipated. That's an extravagant wedding in itself. Exactly. It's not my responsibility to foot the bill for something so extravagant, especially considering how much I've worked to save it. Tell your sister to act her wage. So silly to have a wedding you can't afford. If her career was more important than her sister's, as she claims, her wages would match that, and she wouldn't need to ask someone for a loan for her wedding. Unfortunately, it seems it's not as important as she thinks. Acting her wage is the least of her problems. It's the entitlement to someone else's hard-earned money that's the bigger issue. Siblings aren't responsible for wedding costs. The parents are. Tell your parents to figure it out. Or, gasp, your sister may have to postpone or downsize. Oh, the horror. It feels wrong to laugh about this, but you're so right. Just downsize. It's not wrong to laugh at this. Financially irresponsible people would have less audacity if their scammy ideas were routinely laughed off. Common sense dictates that brides should only plan the wedding they can afford, not the wedding they want. At the end of things, it's really a couple of hours of a party. The focus should be on the marriage. Typically, couples pay for their own weddings these days as people get married later, although parents often contribute. There have been many posts about siblings hitting up brothers or sisters for weddings that got over budget, and the answer is always, the brides or couple should scale back their plans. Life is all about budgets and living within your means. It's a good lesson to start at the wedding if you haven't figured it out yet. I think your offer was beyond generous. Not the a-hole.